Christina here for Clear TV, and welcome to the final table preview show for the $15,000 buy-in World Poker Tour Festa al Lago event here at the Bellagio. The 275-player field is now down to its final six, who will compete at the WPT televised final table. The chip leader going in is Freddy Deeb. He's a two-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner, including owning the title to the 2007 $50,000 buy-in horse championship. He also won a WPT title in Aruba.
It was a tough day. There were all good players. I had to have a lot of patience to get there.
Now, as a consummate pro and someone who's been here before, do you think you have the advantage since you've been at a televised final table before, and maybe these players don't have as much experience in these kind of situations?
No, I was really surprised how good they play. They played good, and I played good and got a little bit lucky, so I'm still here.
How are you going to prepare tonight for tomorrow's final table? You're just going to take it easy?
Steam, sauna, massage, exercise, eat good.
Second in chips is Sean Kunix from Columbus, Ohio. He has $440,000 worth of tournament winnings, including 2 WPT cashes.
I've been playing for about 3 years. I play about 6 live events per year, or fly out 6 times. I play a couple of events in each flying out, and in the last year is when I really started concentrating on it. It is still a hobby for me, but I did win $500,000 in the last year.
What do you do as your regular source of income?
I own Verizon wireless stores.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, what is your chip count going into the final table, and how do you feel about the other opponents that you face?
3,670,000 is my chip count, and as far as the other players, I've played with them long enough. I feel very confident in playing tomorrow. No pressure at all, actually.
Do you not feel pressure because you are maybe not the professional poker player and the rest are?
That's part of it. Knowing that that money, it would be nice. Anybody would be crazy to say it's not, but it is not life-changing to me, and I keep it in perspective. So.
Third in chips is Tommy Vitas. He's originally from New York, but he's lived in Las Vegas for the past 4 years. This summer at the World Series of Poker, he placed 19th in the main event.
This summer was pretty good for me. I made 5th in PLO high-low and ran that into the main event. Got to day 7, day 8 actually got 19th. So took a big loss on day 7, but that was it's part of the game. Got 19th.
Tell me about playing down to the final 6 and what you think about making the WPT televised final table.
It was a tough field, 15K buy-in. All the pros were here. It was really, really tough. I was short through day 1 and 2, and then finally caught a little fire and got up to 600K, and then from there just rolled. And excited to be here. It's great.
Who's going to be the toughest opponent at the final table?
I think Freddy Deeb is going to give me the most trouble. I think Keto Fan's out, so I mean he was like another threat. The other guys are young and they're they're a little, I guess they're online pros and stuff like that. So. But I can mix it up with them, it's no big deal.
Coming in 4th in chips is Craig Covello. He's a Las Vegas local who's made $500,000 in tournament winnings, including 2 WSOP final tables. Okay, so you've been playing for a while then?
I have been, yeah. I enjoy it. I love the game.
Are you a professional?
I am, yes. I was a real estate agent in Scottsdale a few years ago, and when the real estate market kind of dried up, I came out here to play poker at the World Series and never looked back. So.
Perfect. Well, tell me about who do you think is going to be the toughest opponent at the final table?
Probably no question Freddy Deeb, because he's so experienced, so seasoned. He's been here many times. Very good player. But they're all good players. They really are. This was a very tough field. I played many tournaments, and this was probably the toughest tournament field I've ever played. So it's not going to be easy, of course.
5th in chips is Jason Levalee from Montreal. He's an online player making his first big live cash.
My chip count's around 2 million. It's a little bit in the middle. I guess my chip situation isn't really that bad, but it could have been a lot better. I was a little bit unfortunate with 12 players left. So I took the bad end of the deck today.
Hopefully you'll get momentum going starting early in tomorrow. Now, who do you think is going to be the toughest opponent at the final table?
I mean, right now the toughest opponent I think is Freddy, because he's playing good and he has a lot of chips to maneuver around with. So he's pretty dangerous when he has chips. That being said, I mean tomorrow it's pretty much going to be a coin flip on who's going to win because there's a lot of good players at the table. But I think Freddy's probably a decent favorite.
Okay. Now tell me about your cash and tournament experience previous to the event.
Tournament-wise, if you exclude online, I don't really have that much experience. I mean, I traveled Europe. I played a few tournaments at the World Series. But other than that, I haven't really played a lot of tournaments. I have online. Cash-wise, I've played a decent amount at 25, 50 plus at the Bellagio and a few places. And I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with my live game versus a few 2 years ago. It was a little bit harder.
The short stack is Jason Burt from Newport Beach, California. He's also an online player known as Plastic Cards, making his first major live tournament cash.
I've been playing online for 2 to 3 years, I guess. I started when I was a sophomore in college. So,
Do you play mostly tournaments or cash?
mostly cash games, but more tournaments now. I'm playing more live tournaments also now too. So.
Okay. What is your chip count going into the final table, and how do you feel about your chip count and the opponents in the final table?
I have 1.3 million, I think, and the table's pretty tough. If I had more chips, it'd be a bit more room to maneuver and stuff. But with the structure going up, I think it'll be like Jason said before me, pretty much a flip situation. But we'll see.
And that's your final six, who will all be competing for that $1.2 million first place prize. Be sure to follow along with all the live updates by clicking the CP Live button on the Card Player homepage. I'm Christina for Card Player TV.